reaching out to agents is still probably a good route, but
Like literally, what would I do on my first day of like saying, okay, I'm going to try and become a real estate investor? Okay, step one, I got to find an ugly house and negotiate a contract with that person. So first step is finding it. Yeah.
I would say finding it. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? It's going to take you time to like learn all of the contracts, the terms, what everything means. Right. So what I would say is don't try to attempt to do this by yourself.
Yeah.
That's the biggest mistake, because I think somebody who's brand new, they're going to get in it. They're going to get overwhelmed. They may find somebody, they might call someone and say, hey, do you want to sell your house? And that person says yes.
Yeah.
And now they're like, what do I do?
Yeah, for real. That's how I feel. If I started to actually get a deal going, I'd be like freaking out. Like, okay, what do I say next? I'm too used to hearing no's.
Right.
So what do you mean by working with somebody? Who would I work with?
Well, you could work with, so I started a company called Keegley, and it's a nationally franchised wholesale company now. So we help people all across the country negotiate their contracts and put their deals under contract. And we even put up the earnest deposit. Like, we take care of you from start to finish. So
let's talk about the start part of that. So if I'm calling either agents or like, it's hard to, so in an example where I'm on the phone with somebody trying to buy their house, Keegley or the franchise of Keegley will coach me on what my maximum offer can be.
Yeah, they'll tell you exactly
that's
how much
so
you
crazy.
can pay.
Like, that's a lot of effort considering it might not come in return, you know?
Yeah,
like,
of course. I mean, that's the world we're in, right? Like, you got to serve people. And so, we might give out 100 buy prices and only do 5 deals.
But you keep doing it and you don't charge for the buy prices. You're just building relationships with wholesalers. Like, that's interesting.
Because once you get really good at it, you're going to require less and less hand-holding, but you're going to remember who helped you in the beginning, and you're going to have a loyalty to that company and want to do business with us as long as we continue to serve you well.
Yeah.
And so that's the whole reality of what we do. Like, we're a service-based company, and our job is to provide whoever is getting into wholesale information and then assistance. And after that, I mean, finding a buyer and doing all that, none of that has to be anybody's. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah. So finding a buyer is the person, in other words, a fix and flipper.
Correct.
They're called the buyer because they're buying your contract from you. And that, just to clear up, if anybody was wondering what a buyer is in that situation. So I got homies in BMX all over the country. What comes to mind right off the bat is Texas, Austin, Texas. And so if I have, shout out Trent, if Trent wanted to get into this and he's in Austin, Texas, who does he reach out to get started and get help in Texas?
I've actually got 2 franchises in Texas. I've got a corporate store in Texas and 2 franchises in Texas.
That's sick.
The best way for Trent, shout out, bro, would be to DM me on IG or, and I could send him phone numbers.
Okay.
Because, Jeff Houlihan is my general manager in Texas. Then I've got a franchise. Fred Gamble's the owner of one of them.
Love Fred.
Philip Villegas is another owner in Austin, Texas. So these guys they're trained professionals. They want to help. They're very, very good, nice people.
Yeah, they are.
And their intention is to help you do business.
How big is Fred's team and Jeff's team? Like, how big has those Keegley franchises gotten? Just curious.
So actually, Fred Gamble's team has grown a lot. So he came in and you started off with 1 franchise. He now owns 3, I believe.
That's dope.
So that's a really good sign when you have a franchise owner come in and purchase a franchise and then do well enough to want to buy a second one, and then do well enough to buy a third one.
Yeah.
And his goal is to take over all of Texas.
Dope. We've reached the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed that clip. If you want to support me and the podcast, just subscribe and share the show with your friends. The full episode is in the description, so if you haven't, go check that out. It's also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts. And the goal is just to grow. So if you could share the show with your BMX homies, that'd be dope. If anybody that that is a BMX nerd and would enjoy this podcast, do me that favor, and we'll keep all these clips coming and 1 episode every week. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.